If I'm a generator, based on when I was born and where I was born, what does it say about me that I should be doing to optimize for greatest flow, greatest impact, greatest fulfillment, and greatest opportunity?
So think about the word generator, okay? When you are doing something you love, what happens is you generate energy for everybody else. Without trying to give it to them, without going out of your way, it spills out of you and you lift other people up. So you literally alchemize lower energy into higher energy.
Interesting.
But in order to do that, you have to be doing something that lights you up.
Right. And if I'm not doing something that lights me up, then what happens?
You could be helping someone move house, but net, you haven't lifted them up. And so as a generator, generators are here to lift the energy of the world. They literally are the fuel of the world, okay, on good energy.
If you're enjoying what you're doing.
But you have to be enjoying what you're doing.
If not, then it's like, it's not going to do.
You go through the motions, but then you're tired and that person hasn't actually benefited from it.
Right.
So as a kid, you probably got like, well done for going to see grandma when you didn't want to, right?
Yeah.
Or like, good boy for doing something that was a sacrifice or a duty. And that programs, especially generators, of feeling like it can't be as good as just doing my joy, right? But the reframe on this is like, there's a reason why your joy is different from someone else's. So why are you feeling guilty that you get what you think is the better deal, right? If everyone did what they thought was a better deal, everyone would be better together, right?
Yes.
And imagine what a great functioning society we would have if we trusted that allocation of resources from the universe, right? That's telling you, I'm going to design your joy for you.
Interesting.
And I want you to follow that. Now, shut the mind up, let it do its thing, and follow you, which is ruled by your gut. Generators are ruled by their gut. Okay. Now the gut speaks to you in black and white. It says, yes, I'm into it, or no, I'm not. It doesn't know gray areas.
It's either a hell yes or a hell no.
It's either a hell yes or a hell no.
Interesting. And so it's almost kind of like, okay, if I'm using that framework, is this 100% hell yes, 10 out of 10 decision?
Yes.
It cites me for everything about it. Doesn't mean there's not going to be challenges probably.
Exactly.
And things to overcome.
Exactly.
But I'm excited about the opportunity. That's when I should say yes to it.
Yes.
But if it's like a 5 out of a 10, probably don't even have anything to do with that, it sounds like, right? It's like, or try to pull back on as many of those things as possible.
Absolutely.
Maybe I have some responsibilities or obligations I got to fulfill.
Yeah.
But try to make commitments based on this 100% all in.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so wherever you're at, you go at the pace of love and you go, what's doable? Because obviously we've gotten ourselves to places where we can't just all of a sudden, only do those things.
Stop everything.
Yeah. But the core tenet is, for generators, like, can you trust that the joy that you have and that you cultivate inside of you, that's actually, no matter what your job title is, what you're really doing in terms of exchanging energy with other human beings is you are lifting other people.
Right.
And the thing is, you don't even get to see that because you don't see how someone is before they came to you and then how they are when you leave them. So you don't necessarily see that alchemy in motion, but that's really what you're doing.
Interesting.
So you make other people more productive. When you're lit up, generators have very open, welcoming auras. So they make people want to be around them. They're very kind of like magnetic and juicy, and you want to hug them or you want to be around them. You want to be in their energy. They make you more productive. They make you more inspired. That's what a generator does, right? But of course, there's so few generators that are, I guess, giving themselves the permission to just mostly do things that stoke their inner fire. And it's very visceral for you. You know what I mean? Like if you imagine watching yourself from above, when someone says, do you want to do this? Can you imagine your body literally would go like this, or it kind of constricts?
Yeah,
it's gut.
I feel it. I feel my whole body.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll either open up or I'll shut down.
That's the key.
But a lot of us tend to go against that intuition or our gut. Is the mind the thing that blocks us the most, or is the mind the thing that can also drive us the most?
It depends what you mean. So your mind can drive you in creative projects. It can drive you in inspiration. It can drive you in coming up with logic and systems and strategies. And that's what I mean, the outside world, like what you create, what you do, all this kind of thing. When it comes to, Lewis, what do you want to do tonight? The mind is not so skilled at that.
So what I think I'm hearing you say is, for me as a energy type of a generator, I should never make a decision based on my mind. I should always make a decision based on how my body is feeling about this thing. Is that correct?
Yes. So it's actually kind of double for you, because your authority, which is the second category in human design, is that your intuition is gut as well. So you're called your sacral authority.
It's like double intuition.
You're like double gut intuition.
Jeez. I don't know what that means.
So
acting like this is a big deal, but I'm like,
well, different people have different ways they're meant to listen to their intuition. So some people it's emotional intuition. Some people it's gut intuition. Some people it's your wants. Some people it's your instincts. In kind of common lexicon, we all think that's the same thing, but it actually shows up different for different people. Yes.
so what am I then?
So your sacral gut intuition.
Sacral.
So think about that sacrum. It's like all about desire. Do I want it? Yes or no? So
I really need to be listening to this feeling.
yes, you're like, this excites me, or no, it doesn't. And what's interesting, because the gut is black and white, open-ended questions are not great for you. So if I say to you, where do you want to go tonight for dinner? If I'm like, do you want sushi or Mexican? Easier.
Yeah.
Because you narrow it down. So actually for you, for your decision making in your life, it's also easier if you narrow down your choices whenever you're conflicted.
It's very black and white. It's
Yes.
very black and white, which could seem extreme. And I have this conversation with my partner, Matt, my business partner here, where I'm like, we need to shut this entire thing down from like some project, or we need to go all in on this thing and stop everything else right now. It's kind of like extreme sometimes. He's like, slow it down a little bit. Like, let's take some time on this. Let's organize our thoughts. I'm like, no, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like, yes, lean on that, but also make sure that I'm taking care of responsibilities and not just starting and stopping all these things all at once.
Well, he also might be emotional intuition, which means he needs to take his time.
He does. And he needs to analyze everything that could go wrong
There you go.
and all like the potential, challenges and things like that. I'm just like, no, it's going to work. Let's make it work.
Right. But look how beautiful, if you both understand each other's manual, then you're not thinking that one of you is doing it wrong, and you honor each other's process.
That's interesting.
And then when something is aligned is when both of you arrive at the same conclusion. So it works really well with teams too, because okay, I know you're not trying to hold me back by going through all the fears first. I know you're doing your own process so that you figure out your role in this, and I'm doing my way. And then let's kind of like let the chips fall where they may, instead of being like, we have to have this specific process that everyone at work uses. It's like,
Right.
okay, each one kind of combines in a different way. So it's a very interesting way for optimizing how you work with people.
That's interesting.
The mind is getting in the way, whereas actually when you understand the mechanisms of how your body is guiding you and directing you, then your mind is free to become a genius.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
So we're blocking ourselves by going against what our human nature, our human design is telling us we should be going and